Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast. I'm your host, Sonex, and with me today, as always, is our sports analyst and expert, the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same. Isn't that right, Grumpy?
That's me.
Yep. So before we get into the show, I want to go over some housekeeping first. If you guys enjoy the content over here, and even if you don't, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment so we can try and juice the algorithm and get this show out to as many people as possible. We usually try and host this show every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Running a little late today. And then if you guys do enjoy the content over here, we have another show called the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. That show is every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All Islanders hockey. New York Islanders, that is. So, Grumpy, I think I'm done with my little spiel to start the show. I know your eyes are averted to a Houston Texans, Kansas City Chiefs game going on right now. Isn't that right, Grumpy?
No, it's not true.
Oh, not true. Okay. All right. Anyway, we've had some big news that took place this weekend. We have our college football playoffs. Isn't that right, Grumpy?
That's right.
Now, I want to get your thoughts. What are your thoughts on the college football players? Agree? Disagree? Think some teams should be in? Think some team that should be out? What do you think?
I don't care. They put 12 teams in there. Numbers, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 are not going to win the bowl championship series, so it doesn't really matter. I don't care. You know what? How long before it? Is it a perfect system? No. They let teams like Tulane and James Madison in there. Okay, that's fine. So you leave a team like Notre Dame out. Okay. Does it really matter? At the end of the day, it doesn't. None of those teams are good enough to beat a team like Indiana or Ohio State or Georgia. They're just not.
So I could pull this up real quick. We do have the current college football playoffs bracket here. Let me know if you can see this. All right, Grumpy. You see it okay?
Yep.
So we had James Madison make it in, who was ranked 25th before their conference win yesterday.
It doesn't matter where they're ranked.
And got bumped all the way up to 12th.
They shouldn't re-up. They shouldn't be in there. That's fine. You want to put them in there? I don't care. They're not winning.
That's what you were backing. You want the representation from the conferences. You gotta have your teams in there.
I want Power 5 conferences.
The Power 5 conference team that won would have been Duke, who had like 4 or 5 losses this year. So do you think that a team with 5 losses should have made it in?
How did Tulane get in?
Tulane has one. Tulane, I think, has 1 loss. Out of the big conferences, the ACC didn't make it in. It was the same thing last year with Boise State making it in.
Okay, long story short, it doesn't really bother me any way, shape, or form. The better teams are going to win out. I mean, Oregon gets a cakewalk, right?
Absolute cakewalk. I don't think Texas Tech is very good. I don't think that JMU is very good. They get a cakewalk in the semis.
James Madison and Tulane they're one and done.
Yes, I agree.
They need to tweak the system. I don't know how they can do it.
I already told you how you can do it.
Okay, but then you're having people decide who the top. They change the polls as the season comes to the end.
Would you not think that it's better having people decide than throwing a JMU in there because they won their conference championship and they had the best record out of the top 5 conference champions?
Either make it 8 teams or 16 teams. That's it. That's what they should do. 8 teams or 16. There shouldn't be a bye. Absolutely not. The buys hurt the teams that get the bye because it's 3 weeks in between games, where the other team has 2 weeks off, but then they wound up, they play a game before and they're ready to go for the next game. Didn't everybody who was a favorite, who got a bye last year, lose in the first round?
I don't think everybody did, but I think majority of the teams that got buys lost. Yes, that's correct.
I mean, can we look up and see who the teams were last year?
Yeah, give me a second.
I mean, because I thought every single one of them lost in the first round.
Playoffs. Let me see here. So, Texas beat Arizona State. Ohio State beat Oregon. Penn State beat Boise. And then, I guess all of them did. Yeah.
Right. They all lost
Georgia.
because they all had that. They were rusty. Those teams get a little rusty.
Yep.
I mean, that's what happens. 3 weeks off is a long time. I'm not saying that's going to happen this year, but we can look at this year and let's just play it out for the first round. I mean, Oregon is going to walk through James Madison. Oklahoma has, I think, a better than their offense. Oklahoma's offense is so bad.
It is.
That it can keep Alabama in the game.
Agreed.
But would it shock me if Oklahoma won? No, because Alabama's leaking oil big time. They got rolled. I was surprised they were the team that they kept in after losing the conference title game. And maybe they get rid of conference title games. I know that
very well could see that. I mean, because here's the thing: if they didn't make the conference championship, they would only have 2 losses on the year. One of which is to Oklahoma, who's number 8. The other one was Florida State, which is a bad loss. I know that. That's a very bad loss. Not good. They would have had 2 losses, and they would have beat the number 3 team in the country at Georgia if they didn't make the conference championship. So you got to look at it that way.
Yeah, I don't think Alabama's that good. Oklahoma has warts.
Yep.
Indiana's good, though.
I don't think Indiana's that good.
Indiana's good.
I would not be surprised if Indiana. Well, I mean, honestly, Indiana's on a pretty easy side of the bracket. If we're being honest, they're not on the difficult side of the bracket.
Yes,
they're not.
But the semifinals is going to be. The semifinal is absolutely going to be tough for Georgia and Ohio State side.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. They have the most difficult side of the bracket. This side of the bracket is a cupcake.
But that's what happens when you're the number 1 team in the country. You should get the lesser opponents. Now, I think of all the under teams, Oregon's the best of the under teams that are left. But it's somebody Indiana's
I don't think Oregon's that good.
I think Oregon was 1 game this year to Indiana. The undefeated Indiana.
And again, who have they beaten?
A lot of other teams.
Who?
Other teams. I don't know.
USC is one of their big wins. Is USC. To me, Ole Miss got shafted. Ole Miss should have been number 5.
Okay.
To me, Ole Miss should have been number 5.
What does it matter? Ole Miss is going to play.
Okay, what does it matter? Ole Miss would have been in the situation that Oregon's in.
Oregon was rated higher than them all year long.
My point is they shouldn't have been rated higher than them.
But they
both have the same amount of losses. Oregon's loss, granted, is to Indiana, but Ole Miss has losses to 2 teams or has wins to 2 teams that are in the playoffs in Tulane and Oklahoma.
Okay. Tulane sucks.
Doesn't matter. They're in the playoffs.
Okay,
they have a win against 2 playoff teams.
Well, you're not going to get that from me. You're not going to get that.
I don't care if they suck, right? They made the playoffs. They must be good since they made the playoffs. They must have been deserving to make the playoffs, right?
If you're asking me, I don't think that Ole Miss should be ranked ahead of Oregon, period.
I think Ole Miss absolutely should have been ranked ahead
of Oregon. But they weren't ranked higher than them all year long. So the answer for me is no.
Yeah. Well, I think there's some bias that goes on into the ranking system. So,
okay. They lost their head coach. Would it shock if it wasn't Tulane? I think that Ole Miss would be a 1 and done with all the struggles that they have with the new coaching staff and every other thing. That's a problem for Ole Miss. It absolutely is.
It doesn't matter. They're going to get steamrolled by Georgia,
and Georgia will advance.
It'll be Georgia, Ohio. This is my predictions: Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana.
Okay.
That's what I have as my semifinal. And then I have Indiana probably beating Oregon again because Oregon is not good. They haven't beaten anybody. Again, they haven't played anybody. Don't think they're very good. And then I have Georgia making it to the finals. And I have Georgia winning the whole thing this year. That's what I have. Okay. I have Georgia winning the whole thing. I think Georgia's good. I think they're really hot right now. I think the team's playing well.
Who are you rooting for?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Oklahoma, but I know I'm a realistic fan. I'm not somebody who I think my team is the greatest thing ever. Oklahoma has no shot to win it this year. They'll probably lose to Alabama in the first round. But I'm being honest, if their defense doesn't doesn't cause 2 or 3 turnovers, they're not winning against Alabama. It's not happening.
Okay. I just look at it this way. I look at the fact that Indiana, I know you don't think Indiana's that good. I do. I've been on their bandwagon a long time, and they're a feel-good story. They're absolutely a feel-good story. I'm rooting for them 100%. I'm rooting for them the rest of the way. I'd love to see them win. It's the first time they run an outright Big Ten championship since 1945, since Japan said no mas in World War II. That's how long it's been since Indiana has won a Big Ten championship outright. Good for them. I'm rooting for them. And I think their quarterback is the real deal. I think he's going to win Heisman Trophy. I'm rooting for Indiana. I don't see how you can root for, if you're looking for a feel-good story that has potential to pay off, I think Indiana's that team.
Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry, I don't care about a feel-good story. That's like saying, hey, we want this Cinderella team to win. No, sorry, don't care. Should have put the best 12 teams in there. And not force-fed conferences in there like they're doing. It ruins the product.
Okay, you're not going to – it's not the SEC Invitational. It just isn't.
It should be the top 12 teams of the country should make it in at the end. Number 1 through number 12. Don't give a shit what conference they play in. Number 1 through number 12 should make it in. So are you upset that Notre Dame didn't make it in? Do you think Notre Dame should have made it in?
I think if you're looking for the best teams, Notre Dame should have made it in. Does it bother me that Notre Dame?
Sorry.
Does it bother me that Notre Dame lost 2 games by a total of 4 points?
They have played 3 ranked teams all year, and they've only beaten 1. They have a 33% win percentage against ranked teams. Sorry, no. You don't make it in.
I'm just going to say that I would have no problem if they were in. I have no problem that they're out. It's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Again, you're talking about teams 12 and 13. Again, I don't care about teams 12 and 13.
So you're going to enjoy watching Oregon beat the living shit out of JMU, and you're going to enjoy watching Ole Miss absolutely curb stomp frickin' Tulane. You're going to have fun doing that because they already curb stomped Tulane once this year. They beat them like 45-7 or 45-3 earlier on this year. Ole Miss did. So you're going to enjoy watching that again.
It doesn't bother me. You asked me if it bothers me. It does not.
It absolutely bothers me. It's just a blowout game that they put in there. It's literally useless.
Well, it'll probably be on when you're at work, so this maybe will make you more productive.
No. It's usually played on the weekends. The playoff games are. It's not while you're at work. It's the 3:30 game on a Saturday. That's what it's going to be.
So you get to sleep in then, I guess.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? I don't have to turn on my television for the 3:30 game that takes place on Saturday. I could just click it off. I could watch something else.
Okay, that's fine. But it doesn't bother me. It absolutely does not bother me any way, shape, or form that Notre Dame did not get in. I'm sorry, it doesn't. They had 2 losses. I know they were the first 2 games of the year, and they won, 10 straight. But you know what? That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. You're talking about the bottom, the last team to get in. That's what you're talking about. If you would have said that they held out Alabama for Notre Dame, okay, I would have been fine with that too. Alabama has 3 losses. I don't think a 3-loss team should be in there. What are they going to do? You can't penalize. I think why they put Alabama is you can't penalize teams for making their conference championships. I think you can benefit from it, but you can't penalize them. I don't know if I believe in that either. I don't think you should worry about teams that aren't like a power conference, though. I don't, because I don't think that they play anywhere near the level of competition.
They don't, but at the same point in time, if you want to have your representation, okay, then why the hell is the ACC even in the question of being in?
Because Miami has 2 losses, and they were the best team in that conference this year.
Okay,
they lost on a five-way tiebreaker. 5 teams were tied with 2 losses in the ACC, and they lost out to Duke. Honestly,
should have won your games. You shouldn't have lost to unranked Louisville. You should have won your games, right? Isn't that what you say? You should always win your games. So
all that Virginia had to do yesterday, win,
and they couldn't do it.
And they couldn't. So it doesn't bother me that Virginia doesn't make it in. It doesn't bother me that Duke didn't make it in. It doesn't bother me when teams don't make it in, because you know what? If you all go undefeated, guess what it means? You're all going to make the tournament. You lose games, you win, you're in, you lose, you're out. It's just that plain and simple.
Okay. So we have something here from Dick Vitale over here says, yes, Notre Dame football left out of the playoffs is hard to comprehend. Can the committee logically explain how they could have Notre Dame in the top 12 ahead of Miami for 5 weeks and then leave them out at the end after Miami lost to two currently unranked teams? Where is the logic?
Okay, was that it?
Hey guys, I'm really addressing this to the College Football Playoff Committee. I know they're supposed to be this dedicated guys, love the collegiate sports, but I'm really having a tough time. Tough time. Every Tuesday for 5 consecutive weeks, you post on ESPN the teams you think, the top 12, that would be eligible at that time to qualify for the playoffs. Every week, not 2 of the weeks, but all 5 weeks, you had Notre Dame over Miami. You had Notre Dame in there, and every week. How logically do they drop out on the last week when they've done nothing in terms of losing the game? During that period, Miami lost 2 games to unranked teams. I have a real tough time with that. You make a big deal all about Notre Dame losing the opening game of the season to start the season.
To Miami.
But yet you do nothing and say nothing about Alabama getting beat by Florida State, a subpar 500 team. I have a tough time logically understanding that. How do you explain the 5 weeks of having Notre Dame there and then bouncing them and then nothing? They didn't zilch in terms of doing anything and causing that to happen. Didn't lose a game, blew out everybody they played. And the bottom line is they got a raw deal. They got a raw deal. Those kids belong in the playoffs. They belong in the playoffs. Yes, I'm a big biased Notre Dame fan. We have 11 degrees in my family from Notre Dame. And we love Notre Dame. We only want what's right. And it is not right tonight that they're not part of that playoff.
Do you not think that he makes a valid point?
Somebody had to be left out. It's Notre Dame. Sorry.
Okay, but did you not hear what he was talking about?
I heard what he said. Bottom line, Miami beat Notre Dame. Sorry.
Then why were they not ahead of Notre Dame going into the final week in the ranking system?
Because Notre Dame has that cachet.
I think it's because they want ACC money.
Well, they're going to make sure.
That's what I think it is. I think that's why they want it. They want ACC money, and they want the money from the ACC. So they had to have a team represented from the ACC. That's what I think it is. I think it all has to do with money.
Here's the way I look at it. Here's the way I look at it. If you watched the first game of the season, like I did, that game was close on the scoreboard. On the field, it was not. Miami dominated Notre Dame. Miami deserved to beat Notre Dame. Miami beat Notre Dame. Therefore, Miami should be in the playoffs and Notre Dame should not. Now, if you want to talk about Alabama, that's a whole nother story. Alabama had a bigger win than any of those other teams, though, beating Georgia in Georgia. That's a bigger win.
Correct.
I mean, the Florida loss was hideous. Okay? And Oklahoma is a playoff team. And that's a game, realistically, Alabama should have won. They outplayed Oklahoma, but Oklahoma's defense is double tough. Yep. I mean, somebody was going to get left out when you're bringing in teams like Tulane and James Madison. Absolutely, Miami.
Did you not see where the mistake is with bringing in teams like JMU and Tulane?
Yeah, it's like DEI. Okay, that's what it is. That's fine.
But that's what you were preaching and you wanted. You said you have to have representation from the conference.
I'm saying a Power 5 conference. Those two teams are not Power 5 conference.
So what you're saying is you think that Duke should have made it in since they won their conference championship.
I think that every
4 or 5 loss Duke.
I believe that every Power 5 conference should have at least one representative if they're close. And Miami was absolutely close. Now, here's the thing. Do I think Miami is better than Virginia? Yep. I sure enough do. I'd be more pissed off if Miami got left out for Virginia. Virginia won, even though they won conference title, because Virginia's not as good as Miami.
They would only have 1 loss on the year. Virginia.
No, they had 2.
No, they were 11 and they were
not. They were not. They want to being 11 10. I think they have 3 losses now.
Let's see their standings. Oh, you're right. They were 10-2 going into last night.
Right. And they lost. If they would have won, I still feel Miami is a better team than Virginia is. I'm sorry. I just think that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not arguing with you there. I just
James Madison and Tulane are not power.
You could argue the same thing with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's better than Vanderbilt has
You're
more
not
quality
going to have
wins,
7 ACC
more
teams.
quality wins and only 2 losses.
You're not going to have 7 SEC teams in there. You're just not. You're just not.
Well, schedule harder out of conference
games.
Not the
SEC Invitational.
Harder out of conference games.
It's not the SEC Invitational. Just
the competition that you play should absolutely play a part in the decision making.
Yeah,
if you're only playing 2 ranked opponents all year, you shouldn't be making it over a team that plays 5. You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
BYU only has 2 losses this year, right? Both of them Texas Tech.
1. You can't count the conference championship as a loss.
But it is a loss.
Okay, let's say they magically didn't make the conference championship. So then they only have 1 loss on the season. It would be to Texas Tech. Right?
Okay, but with 1 loss, you're going to get into that conference championship game. You just are.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, unless you got somebody who's undefeated. I mean, it's a big. They were the only thing.
Oregon didn't make it into their conference championship. They have 1 loss.
Okay, they had 2 undefeated teams who did make it.
My point exactly.
But they made it.
My point exactly. And guess what? Indiana and Ohio State didn't play each other.
And the Big Ten is a way tougher conference than the Big 12. It just is. I mean, I'm not saying how many teams of the 12 are in the SEC.
Out of the teams that are in?
Yeah, you got Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma,
1, 2,
Texas A&M.
3,
you got
4, 5. You got 5 teams.
5 teams out of 12. That's what? That's
Should
just it. That's just the way it goes. It's the way the cookie crumbles. You're not going to put 7 teams from one conference in there. You're just not. 5 teams is more than enough. I think it should have been 4. I don't think Alabama deserved to get in. The way they
made it over Alabama. Okay, what credible win does Notre Dame have this year that's better than Alabama's win?
I mean, I don't know, Nick. I don't know, X.
USC? We're going to brag about a win against USC?
They beat USC. They won 10 in a row. Which team do you think looked better down the stretch, Alabama or Notre Dame?
I don't care.
Okay, well, then
I don't care. It matters about what you did throughout the season. It's not just what you did at the end.
They won 10 in a row.
It's what you did throughout the season, not what you did. Well, you know what? I think Vanderbilt's great. They kicked the living shit out of Tennessee in their last game before the end of the season. Why the hell aren't they in? They look great. They beat the hell out of Tennessee.
Oh God, Alabama lost 2 of their last 4 games. Notre Dame won 10 in a row. Okay?
Notre Dame didn't play anybody.
Notre Dame's losses.
They played all their tough games at the beginning of the year.
Notre Dame's losses were way better than Alabama's.
They weren't.
Miami by 1 and Texas A&M.
And who did they beat?
They're both in the tournament.
Who did they beat?
The SEC.
Who did they actually beat? That's great that you can fucking lose games. Who did you beat? Who'd you beat? Who can you actually win against?
If you want to look it up, you can look it up. Louis, I mean,
their only substantial win was against USC. That's it.
I don't think a 3-loss team. I don't think a 3-loss team should get in there. That's just my opinion. I don't think a 3-loss team who loses 2 of the last 4 should get in there. They were ranked number 10.
And again, if they didn't make the conference championship, they'd only have 2 losses.
I don't care.
And one win was against Georgia.
If you objectively look at how the teams played, Notre Dame is better than Alabama.
When was Alabama's bad loss? When was their bad loss? When was their loss to Florida State?
Week 3, week 4, or week 1.
It was like the first week of the season, correct? The first week of the season. Their other big loss that they had was to Oklahoma, a team that's in the playoffs. Yeah. A team that's in the playoffs. That's right.
So who did Alabama beat this year?
Georgia at Athens.
Who else?
Georgia at Athens. Georgia at Athens. I can just stop it right there. We can just stop it right there because that's better than any win Notre Dame had all season.
Notre Dame
all season. Better than any win they had all season.
I'm going to tell you what Notre Dame.
We can pull up Alabama's schedule. Notre
Dame is absolutely better than Alabama.
They beat Vanderbilt, who's ranked. They beat Tennessee. They beat Missouri. And then they lost to Georgia last game of the year, but they beat Georgia also.
What's the record of those other teams?
You want to know Vanderbilt's record? Vanderbilt's 11-2.
Okay. What are the other teams? What's their records?
So Vanderbilt's 11-2. Missouri. Let's see what Missouri's record is.
7-4.
Missouri has 4 losses on the season.
Okay, they're not ranked.
Correct. They're not ranked. And their loss. Do you want to know who their losses were to?
I don't know. I just want to know what they're ranked at.
They have 4 losses. They have 4 losses on the season.
7-4.
And then we got Tennessee.
Tennessee, what's their record?
I think they have 3 losses on the year.
You sure?
Let's look it up. No, they have 4 losses. They had 4 losses. That's correct.
Okay.
They're all the SEC teams are losing to the same teams. There's kind of a running occurrence. They're losing 2 of their losses are 2 teams that are in the playoffs.
What was the record? What was the record of Florida State, the team they lost to? What was their record?
Florida State's record was terrible. I agree with that.
What was their record? What was their record?
Let's see.
3-8, 4-7.
They had
all we do is just
7 losses.
7 losses. So they're 4-7, and then Oklahoma's 9-2.
Well, no, their overall record is 5-7. Florida State.
Okay, 5-7.
Correct.
5-7 is horrible. Not even bowl eligible.
Sure, it's
and
bad.
Oklahoma, who's 9-2. What were the records of the teams that beat Notre Dame?
Well, let's look up the teams that they actually beat. Notre Dame actually beat. That's
Okay,
worth their shit. No,
right.
you wanted to go through all the records of the teams that you want to go through all the records of the teams that Alabama beat. Let's go through the records of the teams that Notre Dame beat. Let's go look at those ones.
Go right ahead.
They're absolute dog shit.
Go ahead. Go right ahead. Now the teams that they lost to was 10-1 Texas A&M, and
lost to Texas A&M, and they lost to Miami. The first 2 games of the season. Purdue. Let's see their big win against Purdue. Right. Let's see what Purdue's record was at the end of the year. Oh, holy shit. 2-10. Wow. Fucking real tough team. They
might
beat
as well
right
be Florida State. Oh, but I'm sorry.
Real tough. No, Florida State went 5-7. They're not 2-10.
They
They're
didn't
not
lose to them.
2-10 like Purdue is. Arkansas. Let's see what Arkansas's record was on the season. Oh, look at that. 2-10 Arkansas. So they're playing against the 2 worst fucking teams in their conferences.
Juggernaut,
so they played against two of the worst teams in their conferences. Oh, let's look up Boise State's record. Let's see what Boise State's record was
this year.
No, they were not.
I guarantee you they got more than 5 wins.
9-4 for Boise
State. 9-4. That's pretty good.
4-loss team. Okay.
Did they win conference?
How good was Georgia this year?
Did they win a conference?
How good was Georgia this year?
Did Boise State win conference or UNLV? I don't know. You tell me. But they were 9-4. 9-4. Okay. Who else did they beat?
NC State.
NC State. What's NC State's record?
7-5.
7-5. Okay, so they didn't lose to them either. Okay.
Again, she plays in the shit ACC.
Okay.
USC.
7-4.
9-3 overall.
9-3. Okay, that's a pretty good win. Next. Now
no, it's not, because look at the teams USC played.
Okay.
Look at the teams USC played. You're going to count them as a good win.
I'm not
talking
3
losses to the only ranked teams they played all year.
I'm not talking about the teams that they played.
You got to look at that though. You can't just say, "Oh, well, they beat a team that's 9-3." Well, what if they played at 9-3? What if they played Tulane? What if they beat the shit out of Tulane? The team you just said sucks ass. Let's continue to go through it. Why? Boston College. Let's see how good Boston College was this year.
Move on.
Well, there we go. 2-10 Boston College. Real juggernaut right there. I bet you
there's a bunch of those on Alabama's schedule too.
Navy. Let's see Navy. Let's see what Navy was this year. Oh, 9-2 Navy. Oh, look, and that shit Tulane team is better than them. That team that you called shit, Tulane. That shitty Tulane team is better than them.
Okay, so they beat quite a few good teams. I'm going to bet you Alabama's schedule is littered with teams that are sub 500.
It's not. You're just wrong.
I will just agree to disagree. Now let's talk about the bigger picture about Notre Dame. What's the bigger picture? They get into a little hissy fit over the fact that we didn't qualify as a number 12 team in the 12-team field. We're team 13, so we're not going to play in a bowl game. Yeah, wah, wah. Boo-hoo, cry me a river. As a team, we decided that's horse shit. The AD and the coaching staff determined that. We're going to take our ball and go home because we didn't qualify for the bowl championship series. You know what's going to happen eventually? What you're going to find out is that the bowl championship series is not going to look kindly on them next year. If they have a chance to keep them out again, they're going to do it again. That's the way that works.
You know the reason that they put Miami in there over Notre Dame is the fact that they wanted that ACC.
Miami beat Notre Dame. Miami beat Notre Dame.
So then why leading up, were they never ranked higher than Notre Dame? Answer that question. Well, there's a reason
because
for
they
it.
started off lower in the rankings. That's why.
What?
They were lower in the rankings than Notre Dame all year long. They were behind Notre Dame in the rankings all year long.
Again, why were they ranked behind Notre Dame all year until literally the last week when neither team played and magically they jumped them? Answer that question.
Notre Dame is Notre Dame. That's why.
That is the most non-answer answer I've ever heard in my life.
Notre Dame gets
because Notre Dame. Well, then why did Notre Dame not make it in if they were Notre Dame?
Because they didn't beat Miami.
So then why was Miami not ranked higher than Notre Dame?
I don't care.
Again, because you don't have an answer.
Again, you're arguing about teams 12 and 13. It does not matter. It does not matter. I don't even understand why you're complaining about this. The biggest issue is the crybabies at Notre Dame say, we're not going to play a bowl game anymore. Wah, because we didn't get in the bowl championship series. That's a real quitter. That's a quitter organization right there. They're just
again, there's a very easy, very, very simple solution to this problem. Take the 12 highest teams and put them in there. Screw this. We need representation of all these shitty ass conferences. Fuck that. Put the 12 highest teams in there, and that's going to be your set list. Whoever is 1 to 12, that's who makes it in the playoffs. That's who plays. None of this bullshit. We need representation, blah, blah, blah. No. Sorry. If you don't play anybody all year, you shouldn't be making it in. Play better competition, have better out-of-conference games, and make it in.
I don't care.
Sorry.
I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, all the teams that you're complaining about are going to get rolled. It does not.
Well, again, as a viewer, you should care.
I don't care. I don't care.
And why do you even bother watching them? Why do you even bother watching the sport then if you don't care?
Because
why do you bother watching the sport?
I do not care.
You apparently have an invested interest if you're willing to talk about it.
I do not care about teams 11 and 12. I'm not expecting them to win anyway. I'm expecting them to get blown out because they're not as good as the higher ranked teams. They're just not, period. Sorry.
So when Notre Dame made it all the way to the national championship last year, well, they weren't one of the top 4 teams. So why did they make it to the national championship last year then if they weren't one of the top 4 teams? They should have never made it to the national championship.
Where were they ranked? Were they ranked 12th?
They were ranked
7th. And they lost. And at the end
they made it to the national championship. Don't worry. They beat the number 2 team that was ahead of them.
So who's
number 7? They beat the number 6 team that was ahead of them.
Who's number 7 this year? Who's number 7?
Number 7 this year is Texas A&M. So you think Texas A&M is going to have a shot to make it to the final then?
I think Texas A&M has a better shot than anybody below them.
Oh, my God. No.
Okay. We can just agree to disagree. Let's move on.
You even said so yourself you didn't think Texas A&M was shit.
I don't think
Texas
A&M was that good.
I
didn't think Notre Dame was that good.
Back and forth
I didn't think Notre Dame was that good last year.
But they made it, my point exactly, but they made it all the way to the finals. You got to give teams like that an opportunity to play.
I think what you're going to find this year is that the teams that have the extra week are going to approach it differently than they did last year. A lot of them are the same teams. So they're going to approach it differently.
How many teams are there the same teams that had the bye?
In essence, if you look at it, after the second round of the playoffs, the top team that was left was 5, 6, and 7. Right?
You want to know how many teams? Do you want to know how many teams had the first round bye that are playing that have a first round bye this year? 1, and it's Georgia. That's it.
What about
only 1 team?
Ohio State.
Ohio State did not have a first round bye last year.
Okay. Well, they were ranked 5th, right?
Ohio State was ranked 8th, and guess what? They won the whole thing at 8.
Yeah.
So it was the number 8 and number 7 team that made it to the finals.
You were even arguing about Ohio State being in last year, as I remember. You're crying up. You were boo-hoo.
They didn't play anybody. That's right. They didn't play anybody.
Because they lost to Michigan and they didn't make a conference championship game. That's right. I remember you crying
about that. That's right. You had to have your representation. You already had your representation in Oregon.
Long story short, I would say if you just went with 8 teams, I'd feel better with 8 teams as opposed to 12 or 16. That's it. I don't like the teams having buys. I think it's dumb. Just dumb because it's not 1 week. It's like 3 weeks off. It's too much time off. And teams get flat. That's why I think you're going to see those teams approach it a little bit differently this year.
There's only 1 team that had a bye last year that has a bye this year.
Everyone saw what happened last year, and they're going to go, you know what? We're not going to do that. We're not going to be that team this year. I think it'll be different this year. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, we'll play this video here. This is Dave Portnoy from Barstool saying this is when ESPN and the SEC had it rigged for Bama no matter what. When they made it sound like Bama escaping Auburn, who was so bad this year that they fired their coach, was like beating the 85 Bears. They looked really good in the first half is such a hilarious line. We can play this here real quick.
Notre Dame went on the road, had a strong win at Stanford, but Alabama went on the road in a rivalry game. Looked really good, especially in the first half, getting up 17-0, ran the ball well. Auburn came back at them. They had a great gutsy call on 4th and 2 late in the third quarter to get a touchdown, and then got the turnover late in that game. And I think that was enough to change the minds of a couple of committee members to push Alabama up ahead of Notre Dame in this week's rankings.
I'll say one thing. I think the thing about the rivalry games is, you see all the time teams that are better end up losing those games, that are ranked higher and that are better. Like, for instance, Ohio State and Michigan last year. Same exact thing.
I think Notre Dame, like I said, is better than Alabama. I absolutely do. Alabama was falling apart at the end of the year.
So you think Notre Dame would have the same record that they had if they had to play Alabama's schedule?
I think they did have 2 losses. Yeah.
So you think that they would have beaten Georgia at Georgia?
They would have beaten somebody. They probably would have.
You think they would have beaten Oklahoma?
They would have beaten Florida State.
You think they would have beaten Oklahoma?
They would have beaten Oklahoma. Oklahoma has no offense. No,
their defense is damn good.
They have no offense. They were lucky. I'm an Oklahoma fan. They did not deserve to beat Alabama. They absolutely did not.
Their defense beat Alabama.
Alabama shit down their leg like they did the whole second half of the season. They were lucky. They were lucky to get where they got to. Lucky. If Texas A&M wins, you're not even considering Alabama. Okay, here we go. We're still on this topic. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to go through all the stuff that's listed on here for college football, and then I'll flip into something else. That's correct.
Okay. The way the college football season shaped up, the committee had an opportunity to do the most right thing with the smallest backlash. Alabama, BYU getting blown out in their conference championship games opened the door to put both Miami and Notre Dame in. Instead, they dropped the ball and punished BYU for losing, didn't punish Alabama for losing, and then flipped Notre Dame and Miami despite neither of them playing a game. None of it makes sense. They did the thing that would have given them the most backlash just to have 5 SEC teams in the playoff. That makes everyone question the integrity of the process, and rightfully so. Yeah, that's fair too. You can look at it 100 different ways, right? You absolutely could look at it 100 different ways. You can.
We have Mark Ingram is saying that Alabama doesn't deserve it.
Bama, you played Georgia in the SEC championship, you lose by 21. I got too much Bama in me, but you're out. Now, Miami and Notre Dame should both get in my opinion. I think that is the decision that the committee is going to have to make, because if you have 2 bad losses in the championship game, you have to play one championship game out.
I agree with them. I didn't think Alabama should make it in.
Okay, but then see,
I didn't think Alabama should make it in.
You have to look at it the same exact way, though. If they didn't play in that conference championship,
I don't care. They look like shit down the stretch.
Oh God, okay.
They're not that good.
You don't care.
They're not that good. The only reason Oklahoma has a chance to beat them is the fact that they are horrible right now. They're horrible. They're poorly coached. They're sloppy. They're leaking oil. I'm just telling you.
This here says ESPN broadcasts the playoff selection, the playoff, and the entire bowl season. They actively campaigned against Notre Dame on the live broadcast for weeks. They screwed Notre Dame. Why participate in the garbage and biased product? This is on Notre Dame declining their bowl invitation. No bowl for Notre Dame.
It's a bad look for Notre Dame. And I'll tell you what, if you're a senior, is that the way you want to go out? Is that the way let me tell you something. When you're a senior and you're looking forward to playing the last game of the year as a bowl game, and all of a sudden the AD, and it's the AD, it's not the players. The players aren't voting to not take part in a bowl game. They're not. It's when you see something like that, it's a bad look for Notre Dame.
Let me ask you a question. What player is
our ball and going home?
what player's itching their hand saying, yeah, I'm looking to play in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, or I'm looking to play in the Little Caesars Hot and Ready Pizza Bowl?
Let them
No
play
one.
Texas. How about
No
Texas?
one.
They were your other favorite team,
No
right?
one.
Texas. How about Texas and Notre Dame in a bowl game? I'd want to watch that one, wouldn't
Why
you?
would you? Well, you know that we should be watching that in the college football playoffs, not in some meaningless bowl game.
Okay, are you trying to say that you wouldn't watch a Texas Notre Dame bowl game? I would.
You should be wanting to watch that in the playoffs, not in some meaningless bowl game.
They're all meaninglessly bowl games.
Okay, and here's the thing that you also have to remember too: the kids that don't make the college football playoffs that are entering into the draft that are seniors or juniors, they sit out for the most part if they're not in the playoffs. Why? They don't want their draft stock to go down with a potential injury.
Sounds like you got a problem with those guys too.
I mean, no, I don't have an issue with players sitting out, looking out for
Okay,
themselves in the future.
If you remember, I said if Alabama didn't win against Georgia, they didn't deserve to be in the bowl game. I said that.
So like you were saying, you wanted to watch that Georgia-Florida State bowl game where everybody sat out for Florida State and a lot of kids sat out for Georgia, and Georgia just curb stomped Florida State. That was a fun one to watch. That was a good one. You enjoyed watching that one.
I would rather see Miami and Notre Dame in and Alabama out. That's what I said that last week. I think if Alabama with 3 losses,
got to play tougher teams,
deserve to get in, and they got rolled.
Got to play tougher teams.
Barely hung on to beat Auburn.
Got to play tougher teams. Okay, you could argue this Georgia Tech's game against Georgia was close.
Yeah.
Okay, they barely hung on to beat Georgia Tech. You could argue the same thing.
Are you trying to say that you think that Georgia is not as good as Alabama?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
Georgia has got better.
What I'm saying is those rivalry games, anything can happen in those games. For instance, Ohio State last year losing to Michigan, losing to like a 3-win Michigan team or 4-win Michigan team last year. They lost to Michigan at home against Michigan.
And they were number 2 and they fell to number 8.
My point exactly, though. Anything can happen in rivalry games. That's why they're called rivalry games.
But they were was Ohio State not undefeated going into that game?
No, I think they had one previous loss, I think.
I don't know if they did or not, to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you who I'm rooting for Indiana. I'd love to see Indiana win.
Ohio State had 2 losses going. Ohio State had 2 losses going into that game.
Going into the championship game.
Yes.
Okay.
Or going into whatever it was,
not to the Michigan game. They didn't have 3 losses going to the playoffs.
No, they had 2 losses. They had 2 losses going into the playoffs, not 3.
Well, that's it. And one of them was to Michigan.
Yes, correct.
Which was the last week, and they were number 2 at the time to, I believe, Georgia, and they dropped down to number 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And they proved over the playoffs that they were better. But they were a top 5 team the whole year. They were top 5 the whole year, Ohio State, all year long. It's not like James Madison and Tulane, they're just not. Okay, do we have anything else for this? Because I think we've exhausted this.
We still got some more. They shouldn't have been in point blank. This is on Alabama in the college football playoffs.
I don't think Alabama should have got it.
Alabama is in the bracket at number 9.
Wow.
Anybody have anything more than wow?
They got rolled. It's not like they just got beat.
We're going to see a rematch of the regular season. I really thought they were going to skew that around to make it Notre Dame.
Number 9 Alabama versus number 8 Oklahoma. You say insane. Why?
I don't like it at all.
No.
Why are you moving? No.
So Alabama does not move
so
at all.
They're not punishing someone for getting blown out in the conference championship.
Oh, Damian Harris. What do we think? Alabama is in the bracket at number 9. No change based on what we saw last
night. I got the volume all the way up. Listening to my Tide be introduced to the college football playoff at the number 9 spot. Listen, I'm with the guys at the desk. I don't agree. I don't agree. I think that as we've sat here and tried to figure out what are the most important statistics or metrics for the playoff committee, the 2 things that stick out to me, it's got to be head to head and it's got to be eye test. Like I said earlier, Alabama, they peaked weeks 3 through 6, 3 through 8, something like that. And they just don't look the part. When I look at every other team that has been listed in the college football playoffs, I think each and every single one of these teams could potentially win a national championship. I know I went to Alabama. I know I'm supposed to say, I have confidence that they can win a national championship, but I just don't. And that's the eye test part that I can't get over. And if I'm one of these teams, Miami or Notre Dame, that more than likely doesn't get in, I'm going to be raising hell about this because there's no way watching Alabama play last night, at least like they didn't drop at all. They didn't move. Like, you watched that game last night. You watched the performance by Ty Simpson, the lack of the running game, the holes in the defense. They shouldn't have been it. Point blank. They shouldn't have been it.
That's it. That's what I say.
Well, here's the thing. So you're saying that you think it would have been better if they just hadn't played then? They just said, yeah, we defer. We defer. We want to let the next team go in and play in our place.
I don't think they're that good. I don't think
we want to defer and let the next team go in and play in our place because we don't want it to negatively impact our view towards making the college football playoffs. We'd rather just defer.
If you're
rather defer and let the team behind.
If you're going to ask me which team I think looks better at the end of the year, it's not Alabama. They were horrible down the stretch. Terrible. They lost the game. They should have beaten Oklahoma. They just edged out Auburn. And then they got rolled in the conference championship. Look what happened to BYU. They got rolled in their conference championship, and they paid the price.
BYU has more wins than Miami. BYU has a better strength of schedule than Miami. BYU has a better strength of record than Miami. BYU lost to number 4 Texas Tech twice. Miami lost to unranked SMU and Louisville. I literally can't find any logical reason why Miami is going to the college football playoffs.
Because Miami's better than BYU. That's why.
BYU's only losses were to number 4 Texas Tech.
I don't care. The Big 12 is just not that good.
Again. Well, okay, you could argue the same thing with the ACC.
Miami beat Notre Dame. Who did BYU beat?
Everybody else.
They didn't.
Everybody else. Literally everyone else they beat. Everybody else. The only teams that they didn't beat were Texas Tech. That was the only team they didn't beat all year.
This was your thing for why Alabama should get him, because they beat Georgia, because that's it. That's the end of the statements. Because
but here was your thing, right? You were talking about your wins, right? And your total amount of wins. That's why teams should make it in. There's your total amount of wins not happening, right? You could argue the same thing. I can flip flop it on you too. Same thing.
Talking about teams 12 and 13. I don't care about teams 12 and 13. I do not care.
Here we go. Here's another one. Notre Dame dropped 2 college football playoff ranking spots following a 49-20 win at Stanford and no 13th game. Alabama gained 1 spot following a 27-20 win at Auburn and a 28-7 loss to Georgia. Notre Dame was penalized for a 27-24 loss at Miami in week 1. Bama 31-17 loss to FSU in week 1. Didn't matter.
You know what? Just let's go back to the olden days where we just have the
This is more. I didn't post this stuff, by the way. This is stuff that an ex-member of the show posted, who was obviously very, very irate that Notre Dame didn't make it in.
And he hates Notre Dame too. He hates them.
Yeah. I'm just going to skip a lot of this because it's all the same exact crap. Okay. So pretty much everything that he had posted on here was all Notre Dame and college football playoffs. Anyway, I think we wanted to touch base a little bit on NFL, correct, Grumpy?
Yes.
So, what do you want to talk about with the NFL? We currently have a game going on.
Well, let's talk about Major League Baseball Hall of Fame voting.
Okay, I didn't pay attention. I don't know anything about that, so you fill me in.
Jeff Kent, the old Veterans Committee. I don't know what the hell they call it now. Jeff freaking Kent gets elected to the Hall of Fame when guys like Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens do not. I'm sorry. Jeff Kent was an okay little player who hit some home runs for a couple of years, a second baseman. Jeff Kent is no Hall of Famer. I'm sorry.
Do you know when Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens are going to make it into the Hall of Fame?
I have no idea. Maybe when some of these assholes who are on this voting committee die, they're just going to start looking at stats. I think when they just start looking at, you know what, maybe, just maybe, with all the gambling that's in baseball, maybe doing the steroids when everybody was doing them was really not that big a deal.
I'm going to just say they will get the Pete Rose treatment is my prediction as to when they will be put in the Hall of Fame. When they're dead, then they'll put them in.
It's hypocritical. The whole thing's hypocritical.
No, I agree. I think the MLB Hall of Fame is a joke.
And the last thing is, sports writers should not be involved in the voting process. They should not at all, because they're hypocritical. They're lying pieces of shit. Oh, what's the sanctity of the game? Half these guys are freaking alcoholics or drug addicts or something. And they wouldn't pass any type of, purity test when it comes to stuff like that. It bothers me. If you know how you should be able to tell if a guy belongs in the Hall of Fame? If you actually saw them play, and you say, man, Those guys are freaking good. They're really, really good. They're absolutely Hall of Famers.
What was the statistic that Barry Bonds had with like the amount of times that he was intentionally walked in like one season?
Yeah, like over 200 times. He was walked over 200 times in a season.
Yeah, like it's just okay. If you're intentionally walking someone over 200 times, it means they're an absolute lethal freaking weapon
And
at
the
the
whole
plate.
things were these guys were Hall of Fame talents before the steroids.
Yeah.
Before the
Okay.
steroids.
Even here's the thing with baseball, right? Even if you're a juice head and you're juiced
It's
to
a
the
numbers
max,
game.
no. Even if you're a juice head and you're juiced to the max and you take all the steroids in the world and you're a physical peak specimen, that still doesn't mean that you can make contact and hit a baseball or throw a baseball. You still have to have natural ability or work at it to be able to do that. It's not a sport where it just takes raw physical talent to be really good at it. You have to actually work at it or have really good hand-eye coordination or be really, really good, skill-wise to play well in that sport. That's one of the only sports, that and hockey, I would say, are two of probably the most sports where skill is really heavily involved with it.
Yeah.
You can't steroid your way through hitting a baseball or throwing a baseball 99, 100 miles an hour. You can't do that.
And skating.
Throwing curveballs and placing pitches. And that's the thing that's just the biggest joke. It's like, okay, great, they use steroids, but at the same point in time, the steroids aren't helping them, make contact with the baseball.
Hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with hockey, right? You need hand-eye coordination in hockey. You need to be able to skate in hockey. Steroids aren't going to help you skate.
Right.
Like, it's a joke to me. It's just an absolute joke.
I agree.
But anyway, this was
before we go to the NFL, can we bang out some comments?
Sure.
When it comes particularly about
we'll just go through all the comments, then we can pop in the NFL. I don't have too much NFL for today, but
I know we have some Wii Hoopin' information that's been posted.
Yes, we do have some Wii Hoopin'. I will play the Wii Hoopin'.
And we might as well save that for this. Drew said,
exactly.
"Oh wow, right on time." Hi, X and Grumpy. I sent you some juicy Wii Hoopin' crash outs for the audience to enjoy. Yes, we'll save those.
We will pop those up.
Derek Monroe says, if we get beat by 3 scores in your conference title game, you don't deserve to be one of the 12 selected less than 24 hours later. The Alabama Crimson Tide get away with another CFB robbery. Agreed, Derek.
They should have deferred then. They should have deferred,
100%.
not played in the playoffs.
100% agree.
Gave it to the team right underneath them.
Agree.
Said, hey, here you go. You can play in the conference title.
100% agree. Drew also says, I love how every other team gets flagged for a false start on the tush push unless your name is the Philadelphia Eagles. Derek Moreau says, I was thankful Virginia didn't win the ACC title because I truly believe Miami is the only team that should represent the ACC conference as a whole in college football playoffs. I hate to say this. I am agreeing with Derek Monroe tonight, but I'm sure
just
I'm
wait.
sure
He'll make
something. I'm
just
sure
wait. He'll make you
that,
disagree here in a little bit.
Okay.
Just give it time.
Freedom Fund Adventure goes, Dolphins go up to New York and tribute to TJ. Absolutely manhandled the Jets. Even with Tua playing like garbage, can't count on the Jets for anything. Jets suck. And they need a new head coach. They need everything. They should be drafting a quarterback. They should be happy that they're losing games. That's what they should be hoping for.
Yes.
Drew says, also, X, can you say for the audience, what's the Ravens' current record? 6-7.
6-7. Oh, my God. He wanted me to go 6-7, 6-7. That's what he wanted me to go.
Okay.
There you go. It's a meme. It's a thing that's out there.
Drew says, like brother, like younger brother, always late.
Yep. Following the footsteps.
I will say X was over here mooching, and then he says on the way out, I think it's going to be plastic today. And he loaded up on food. And
baby. It was all plastic. It was all plastic. It was all
plastic today. I want to make sure all those containers come back.
It's a plastic kind of night.
I want to make sure all those containers come back. That's all I'm saying. Freedom Fund Adventure says, did the warden discover the blame was placed on her for TJ being TJ? How did she react?
No, she's not heard that.
I don't know what.
From the last show where we talk about, why is TJ the way that he is? And you said because of the warden.
Yeah, that's right. It's because of the warden. Derek Monroe says, let me tell you something. TJ and the warden are very similar. Very similar. Derek Monroe also says, Cincinnati Bengals blow another critical game in snowy Buffalo today. It's fair to say it's beyond time to fire Zach Taylor. I agree again with Derek Monroe. Look at that.
And to also add on that, ownership is an absolute dumpster fire for the Bengals organization. They are brutal. That team will never win anything as long as those people are in charge of owning the team. They won't win anything.
100% agree.
And as a Bengals fan, if there's any Bengals fans out there, best way to get them to change their ways, Stop going to the games. Stop buying their stuff. Stop supporting them monetarily wise. Because as soon as they stop making a profit, they're going to end up backing out.
They still make ridiculous TV money. So.
Yeah. Anyway, you gotta send a message. Have empty stadiums. That's going to look really good on TV.
Drew says, I wonder when TJ is returning to the podcast. I know he's sick not wanting to be a diva and spew his opinions online. I know he struggles with that. He really does. Freedom Fund Adventure says, is
Virginia Tech
the first team ever to hire a former head coach to be a coordinator on a new staff? I don't know. I don't know. Freedom Fund Adventure adds, Son X, check out this conspiracy theory. Darsh's brother has won 3 Super Bowls with Kansas City.
Wow. I did not know that.
Me neither. I think it's
maybe he can bring some of that. Maybe he can get Goodell. Goodell will be the new.
Or maybe the fact that ever since Matthew Darsh, his brother has infected the Chiefs with Islanderitis. Because they're not doing so good.
No. He won 3. So
Kansas City Chiefs, says Freedom, will he give his brother the formula for how to buy off the league and the officials? Well, the Islanders now win 5 cups in a row. Oh boy, this is right up.
Honestly, I thought the Islanders probably had a chance to win at least 3 or 4. I think, and now they probably have a chance to win 10 if they have Chiefs money in their pockets. Oh my God, get Andy Reid out there with this little Waffle House menu. He'll be cooking up.
Okay.
Slide a couple hundreds in their pockets in the middle of the game.
Next, Son X. Speaking of cupcakes, how many did you eat for free tonight?
No cupcakes tonight.
What did you have tonight?
I had a piece of cake and a cookie.
A piece of cake, because the lovely Dr. Page passed her final medical test. That whatever it is, I don't know what it even is, but she's passed everything. She no longer has to take any more tests. She's a full-fledged
her boards.
So she's a full-fledged superstar doctor now. Freedom Fund Adventure adds, Tulane doesn't suck and they have a great coach. That's University of Florida's new head coach. They stole him from Auburn, Kentucky, Ole Miss, and LSU. Was their top pick named Kiffin. This guy ain't fake tough like Lane. Okay.
I just know that earlier in the season, Ole Miss beat them I think it was 45-3 or 45-7.
Googman says, am I crazy to think this rookie Jets quarterback may be good? Yes. What is your favorite fast food? X, do you have a favorite fast food? I know.
This is a good question for me right here.
The Last Chance Chicken Saloon, is that your favorite?
Bojangles is very good, and I don't know. I don't think there's any Bojangles up north. I think they're starting to expand up there. If they do open up a Bojangles up north, you better get your keister down there because that food is delicious.
It's the Last Chance Chicken Saloon.
It's so freaking good. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. It's very good.
I really don't eat fast food anymore.
When he does, it's Bojangles.
No. Chick-fil-A.
McDonald's is your favorite. That's your go-to is McDonald's.
Yeah, but I haven't had McDonald's in, I don't know, maybe 8 months. It's been forever.
It's either McDonald's or Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
You also like Burger King too.
But I don't.
Arby's too.
Arby's. I think we had. Here's the thing. You want to know why we get Arby's?
Because you get the coupons.
Because we get the coupons. So the warden says that's a warden approved purchase.
It's a lot.
So that's right. So we have had Arby's. I want to say in the last 6 months. We've had Chick-fil-A absolutely in the last 6 months. McDonald's, maybe it's been 6 months. Burger King, I can't even tell you when. It's been a long time.
All right, next show we're doing a college football playoffs for fast food restaurants. We're doing a ranking system.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
We're going to go through a tier list.
Yeah, we could go through a tier list. That's fine. I like it. Gungu says, Grumpy, which one of your sons has been on his best behavior lately? Who needs to try a little harder? I tell you what, X is always good, but he's such a conspiracy theorist. He gets lowered down on the list.
What?
He needs to just be. He needs to not be. Everything's not a conspiracy against teams he doesn't like.
You know what? I'm going to take a line from one of your favorite movies of all time. You can't handle the truth.
And can we just go to Freedom Fund Adventure at 9:48 while we're looking at it?
9:48.
Yeah. Freedom Fund Adventure says Son X made TJ look calm, reasonable, and rational tonight. This is the way X. Let me tell you something. I knew this show was going to be like this tonight because he has been going on and on and on and on about this bowl championship thing, at least an hour, hour and a half every day at night. I have to listen to his ridiculousness. I'm glad it's finally over. I'm glad. I don't care about who gets it and who doesn't.
You know what, Grumpy? Here's the thing. It's like Christmas. It's like Thanksgiving. It's like, all the major holidays. It comes around every year, baby. So get ready and get geared up for next year.
Mhm.
'Cause it'll be here before you know it. And I'll be complaining and throwing my conspiracy theories all over this show. Better get ready.
Here's a comment that I'm going to differ from Derek Monroe on today. The Packers prove the Bears are nothing but a paper tiger come playoff time. I disagree. I came around extremely impressed by the Bears today, regardless of the outcome and the bad pass by Caleb Williams on, I believe, was it fourth down? Was it fourth down play?
It was
or second down?
fourth down play. No,
okay, what's fourth down play?
No,
I don't think it was.
No, it might have been. No,
it was second down.
It was fourth because they needed to pick up the 1 yard and they didn't do it. They went for that pass instead. Remember? Yes, it was a fourth down play. They only needed the 1 yard. It was fourth down play.
Okay. I didn't think it was a fourth down play. I thought maybe it was a third down play. But it was a bad pass. But other than that, I'll tell you what, I was impressed by the Bears scrapping and coming back, and Caleb Williams making plays today. They had some great they made some great catches on passes that it's like, holy crap, how did he get it in there? It was a really good game for the Bears, and it was a road game for the Packers. So does it bother me that the Packers are now number 2 seed and the Bears went from number 1 seed to number 7? No, but I think that the Bears can give people some trouble this year. Good for the Bears. Congratulations.
Okay, let's just pop into this here real quick. If the Chiefs lose tonight, right, they're probably done making the playoffs. Wouldn't you agree?
They're in big trouble if they don't win tonight. Chiefs are in trouble if they don't win tonight because then because I think Indianapolis is done with Daniel Jones going out. They have no quarterback. So even though they're 8-5, they started off 7-1. They've been 1-4 since. They're going to fall off. If Houston wins tonight, they're going to be 8-5, and Kansas City is going to be 6-7. So you're going to be 2 games behind and a loss a head-to-head. That's tough to overcome. You got the Chargers. They're not going anywhere, and they're not going away. You have Jacksonville. You have Buffalo. Those teams all have the head-to-head win over Kansas City. Kansas City can't lose tonight. I think if Kansas City wins tonight, they have a real shot to get in. But if they lose, I don't think they have any shot. Sorry. Freedom Fund Ranch says the Warden gets a lot of well-deserved respect for being a saint, but by putting up with these 3, but Grumpy deserves some credit too. He has to listen to TJ and X's crazy rants longer than any of us and daily. That's 100% true.
Yeah, it has been confirmed that Daniel Jones has torn his Achilles tendon. So he'll be out. He'll be out for the remainder of this year and potentially some of next year. I think Drew actually posted that here. Hold on.
I knew that as soon as I saw him non-contact, grab that calf area back there. I'm like, yep, that's it for him. Then the banging of the helmet, he knew too. They knew.
Yeah. But you read this one?
Yes, read that one.
Okay. Sorry. I was looking up something real quick. Sorry.
Goon says, have the Islanders righted the ship? Do residents in the Carolinas still skinny dip? I don't know anyone who skinny dips. And have the Islanders righted the ship? No.
After tonight's game.
Well, but they were outplayed today. They were outplayed yesterday by Tampa. They wound up winning the game. I didn't see the Colorado game. I don't know if that was on NHL Network, but I set up a DVR for it, and I didn't get to see it. I mean, they won 6-3. I guess 5-3 with regulation.
Didn't we even say that though? That we felt like this would be. And again, it's like it's the same thing we talked about on the podcast. Like I think last week or 2 weeks ago, that they win games that they shouldn't, and they lose games that they should win.
Yes,
it seems like it's been like that all year.
Yes,
it's just And I mean, that's a perfect example. Them beating Colorado and then losing to Florida, who's like last.
You know who's a shitty quarterback? CJ Stroud.
Yeah, he sucks. He sucks.
It's like he's aiming every ball that he throws. Got guys wide
he had
open.
1 year, which was his rookie season. He had all that hype, and he has been nothing since.
He looks skittish and nervous as hell. He missed a guy wide open. wide freaking open, overthrows him by 4 yards.
He's
I mean,
lucky that his
wide open.
defense is as good as it is.
Yes, their defense is damn good too. Derek Rose says Alabama's point differential in their 2 losses was 35. Notre Dame's was 4 in weeks 1 and 2. Yeah, Notre Dame should have gotten over Alabama.
Yeah, your wins should count for something too, not just your losses. So.
They do. They do. They do. Derek Rose says Messi contributes 2 assists to win a trophy, number 48 against Thomas Muller in the MLS final. Okay. Sending his friends Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets into retirement as champions. Haven't they been retired for years?
Playing in the recreational YMCA league, yes.
Okay,
yes.
Derek, no offense. The MLS sucks.
It
The
is
fact that
atrocious.
Thomas Muller is like a big star in MLS tells you all you need to know.
He wasn't even good enough for them to keep him at Bayern, even as a backup.
A legend.
Wouldn't keep him up.
They
wouldn't keep him on the team as a backup.
He has been.
That's how good he is. And he was a
forever.
top scorer on his team. And he came in like, I want to say, I think he played the last 14 games or 13 games of the season. He's a top scorer on his team.
He's been finished forever. Just like Messi and Alba and Busquets. They're all finished.
Absolutely. That league is a joke.
It is a joke. It's horrible.
Awful. Awful.
He won. That was get a YMCA trophy.
Yeah, exactly.
Derek adds, for those wondering, Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't won a competitive league since league championship since 2021. But you know what he did? They won the Nations Cup this year
Against Spain. Probably the favorite to win the World Cup.
Yeah.
Beat Germany.
Yeah.
I'd say those are probably better wins than, Toronto FC or whoever the hell they beat.
I'm going to say
Vancouver FC.
I'm saying they're way better wins. Way better.
They absolutely are. Not to mention, he plays in a more difficult league.
Way
Absolutely. The Saudi
more.
league's more difficult. If we have to, we can roll the numbers of the games that happened when Inter Miami came to play the Saudi teams. They got their asses kicked week in, week out when they did their little tour through Saudi Arabia. They got killed every week. Not to mention FIFA Club World Cup this year. Al Hilal beats Manchester City, who's fighting actually to take down your favorite team. Currently this year, only 2 points behind Arsenal. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah, they beat them. Do you think any team in the MLS would have stood a chance against Man City?
Nope.
No.
MLS.
It's the difference in the leagues. The Saudi league's just a lot better than the MLS.
The MLS is a retirement league because gullible United States fans will watch guys who are 5-10 years past their prime because they're better than.
Well, also not to mention that they don't know anybody outside of the U.S. who plays.
And they're better than the United States players that play in the United States. They just are. And even when they're finished, they're still better.
I agree.
Okay, next. Drew says, I bet we hoop and love 6-7, 6 and 7.
6-7.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a meme. I told you that already. It's like a little thing.
I still don't know. I've never seen it. Drew says some NFL news. Daniel Jones tore his Achilles and is out for this year, probably next year as well. And Mahomes isn't looking very Mahomes last night. This is what Patrick Mahomes has looked like ever since he doesn't have a stacked offensive line and a loaded receiver group. This is what he looks like. He looks like every other quarterback. Not terrible, not great, just okay. And sometimes you can, if he runs around and throws a ball up for grabs, you can see guys wide open on the field. They're able to make those plays, but he's not. I just don't think he's that great right now.
If his offensive line can get away with tackling 2 or 3 guys, so he's got time to roll out and run around for 15, 20 minutes and then throw the ball down the field.
I'm just saying,
it's usually what happens on that plays. There's holds that happen on those plays, and they don't call it.
When they're loaded with weapons, he's a better, just like everybody else, there's a better quarterback.
Unless you're one other guy who didn't need weapons to be successful.
Yep.
And then here we got the next one here.
Now, he didn't get to the line of scrimmage with that throw. I don't know why they didn't throw a flag. It wasn't even close. Freedom Fund Adventure says, dirty play by Brad Marchand on Schaefer. When will Darce get protection? Only team that allows stars to be messed with. I did not see that play. I did DVR the game. I don't know if it was first period.
Yeah, we'll look at it and then comment on it on the Islanders show on Wednesday. Oh, and to answer your question about why they didn't throw a flag, they're saving them for Houston.
Oh, okay. Well, Houston's had quite a few flags thrown on them.
A lot more than Kansas City has today. Stop their first scoring drive.
Now it's 4th and 2. If you're Kansas City, do you go for it or do you kick the field goal to make it 10-3?
Kick the field goal. You're still gonna be down. You're still down by 2 scores, right?
That's right. Now they missed. Butker hit a cross. Hit the cross.
Yes, he did. He did. He hit not the crossbar. He hit the right goalpost. Yes, correct.
Drew says, and of course, my fantasy team matchup between me and X is down to the wire. I can never have things easy. Sorry to hear that, Drew. And they're going for it on 4th down. I would not. I'd much rather put points on the board here. That's just me. Freedom Front Bench says, Son X, pull up Mick Vukota on Spittin' Chicklets podcast. You don't need to play. Oh, they got a touchdown. You don't need to play it, but show Vukota. Who does everyone think he looks like? Mick Vukota. VUKOTA. Mick Vukota. It's not
shoot. Hold on. I butchered his name. VUL.
VUK.
Well, no, it's VUL. It's MICK.
His name is that's not how it's spelled. It's
okay. How's it spelled?
VUK. Mick VUK.
Okay.
Yeah.
OTA. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is the guy. This can't be him. Is this him?
I don't know. That's not up. I can't tell. You're not posting anything.
Is this the guy?
I guess that could look like him.
Ain't got much on there.
Yeah, okay.
So I guess I don't know.
I don't know who he looks like. Who did he look like to you, X?
No idea.
Okay.
No idea.
Okay. Drew says the Bears are a great team. Caleb Williams just sucks, and I'm just wondering when Ben Johnson is going to pivot to Tyson Bagent. That's not happening.
Yeah, no.
And Caleb Williams was good today. He made a lot of Patrick Mahomes type plays today. He did. Kudos to him. Drew says Grumpy said it after tonight. Kansas City's going to be 6-7. I didn't say that that was going to happen. I said if they lose today, they will be 6-7. That's what I said. Derek Moreau says the Chiefs' only chance is winning tonight and praying the Colts fall off the cliff with the Daniel Jones injury. Chargers, Jaguars, Bills all have head-to-head advantage over us. Colts is the only shot. Yeah, I agree with that.
They have to win tonight, though.
They have to win. They cannot lose tonight. They lose tonight, they're out.
I'm sure they slip some greenery in the officials' pockets at halftime.
You think at halftime? You think so at halftime?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Derek also says, let's see the Saudi League rankings compared to MLS. I'll wait.
Yeah. So who does these ranking systems? Are they people from the United States? Are those the ones who are obviously pushing for the US team? The fact that the Eredivisie, which is the Dutch league, is not ahead of the MLS is an honest disgrace. It's a disgrace.
MLS sucks.
It's a disgrace. That makes your list of your top teams lose any source of credibility at all. The fact that the Dutch team is ranked like 15th in the world.
I mean, the Portuguese league is ranked ahead of them, isn't it not? Is it not?
I don't know if the Portuguese league's ranked.
It should be. The Turkish league should be.
No, it's not. The Turkish league is not. They're ranked 10th. They're ranked 10th in the world, the MLS. Which is honestly appalling.
Too high. Too high.
It's an absolute joke. It's a joke. That no credibility to that at all. Won't even entertain it.
Here we go. This is what I try to impress upon X the last 3 weeks with this college football bullshit. Oh my God, says Freedom Front Adventure. The football players ranking segment went on way too long. I am behind the show and it's probably still going on. It's torture, not entertaining. Exactly. I try to tell X that. X is fucked in the head, man. He's got problems. He's fucked up.
There's only one way to get
next comment, please. Go to the next comment.
Change it to people who make this list.
Derek Monroe says this is what he looks like as he's second in the league in passing yards while missing a wide receiver 1 first 6 games of the season and wide receiver 2 first 3 games of the season. You know what? Tom Brady was playing with much less talent, and he was going to AFC championship games.
Tom Brady was playing with like a wide receiver 3 as his wide receiver 1.
That's right.
His whole career. He's playing with a white slot receiver his entire career as his number 1 wide receiver. Not his entire career, majority of his career with Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
He was his number 1 wideout as a number 3 option.
That's right. I don't think anyone who watched can say Patrick Mahomes has been great this year.
No,
they're behind a lot. He's got to throw all the time. He's stat stuffing is what he's doing.
Yeah. I guess Shador Sanders was great today too, even though they lost to the 1-11 Texans. But hey, he threw for 358 yards, right? So I mean, he's throwing for a lot of yards. He's doing great.
Drew says, Grumpy, you're smoking crack if you think Caleb was good. He missed so many routine throws that the other 70% of quarterbacks would make. Ben Johnson, Kyle Monagai, and Swift had great games as per usual. I'm just saying, in big moments, he came up big, with the exception of the interception at the end. Respectfully spoken, you're smoking crack. Derek says, guess we'll wait on the pod to see these soccer league rankings.
Again, there's no point to put them up because they're fictitious. They're fictitious. There's no point to put them up. The fact that you're actually going to say that the Dutch league is not better than the MLS means that your source, whoever's making these rankings has no credibility at all. None. None.
Okay. The MLS is a terrible league. I'm sorry.
It's atrocious. It's atrocious. It's honestly god awful. I can tell you how many times I've seen guys score own goals in the MLS just this season, score on themselves.
You know what reminds me of? Women's soccer.
It's terrible. It's a terrible product. It is really, really hard to watch. Really hard to watch.
Okay. Derek says, Mahomes hasn't had a season where he hasn't made the AFC title, fellas. Can we wait till he's actually eliminated to trash him? I'm not trashing him.
We were just saying we don't think that we're saying it's going to be really difficult for the Chiefs to make it if they lose tonight. That's all.
If you think he's been really great the last few years, I'm just going to say respectfully, you're mistaken.
His actual stats have dropped over like the last 3 seasons. They've dropped, and you want to know why that is? Age. He's getting older.
Well, he needs weapons. He needs weapons. He just does.
Yeah, to be successful. Some guys do, and some guys don't.
Drew says, also, I get Derek Stingley's arguably the best defensive back in the league, but I guess Andy Reid forgot Rashid Rice exists. Well, I mean, he's hitting. If you get Mahomes done a lot of running tonight, and that's the thing. You don't want him running the ball. I think it's a mistake to run him. If you want to have him maneuver around the pocket, he just takes one hit, he's done. And I'm not saying finished, whatever, but you cannot afford, if you're Kansas City, to have him. And CJ Stroud is just horrible. He's horrible. He's aiming everything. He's terrible. I don't know who the backup is. Davis Mills, get him in there. That's all I'm saying.
CJ Stroud is brutal.
He's terrible.
Dude, he's brutal.
He's
terrible. A shitty quarterback. I don't know how the hell they're 7-5.
Because Davis Mills was there for a lot of weeks.
No,
Davis Mills is good. He's
better
a good
than him.
Quarterback. He'd hit.
They got to play him because they paid him all that money.
Well, you know what? He's on his rookie deal. He's not getting paid anything.
Well, he's in his third year of his rookie deal. But yeah,
he's in his rookie deal.
He's
in his rookie deal. He's not getting paid. Okay. So let's get to the NFL.
Okay. I think we only have one clip for the NFL.
I thought there were numerous wee hooping clips.
Oh, yes, we do have the wee hooping clips. Sorry, I consider that outside the NFL. But it says, this is not a catch, question mark, question mark, question mark.
So
okay. I don't want it in super slow-mo.
1,
2, and
that's a catch.
I mean, it's already
if you play it in full speed, it's not a catch. It's pretty obvious he drops the ball. And here's the thing. This is what Isaiah Likely does in big moments. He fumbles the ball. That's what he does.
Played at 2 times speed.
Well, you play 1 time speed.
This is live.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a catch, dude. That's a catch. He had 2 feet down.
1. You got to be making like
2.
That's
2 feet down. The ball didn't move at all. That's 2 feet down. The ball didn't move.
He is always dropping balls.
That's 2 feet down. The ball didn't move. That's a catch. That's a catch. That's a catch. I'm sorry. It's a catch.
I don't care. The Ravens don't deserve to get any breaks. Bye-bye, Ravens.
I'm just saying you can't argue that.
He dropped a lot of passes. If you watched it in full speed, you'd say, yeah, that's not a catch. If you watched it in full speed, I'm like, another drop by Likely. That would catch he should have had. He drops a lot of passes just like that. He'll have it for a second or two, and then he drops it. That's his MO. There's got to be 5, 6, 7 of those over his career.
Drew sent some stuff here. Hold on. We'll play some of the stuff that he had sent here. Give me a second. Here's one. It says the Dallas Cowboys, Pentagon, Hexagon, Octagon, season gone.
Ah, very good.
That one's pretty good.
I like it.
Let's see the other ones here. Oh my God. Here's the I guess they did 6-7 at the Panthers game.
Love it. Thanks, Tim.
says the Panthers won 7-6. Sam Bennett 6-7, 6-7. That's what it
The
is.
scoreboard, the 6-7 finish. What's your reaction to that one? I love it. Thanks.
That's what it is.
What the hell is that?
It's a meme. It's a kid. It's a meme. He does this little 6-7 thing.
What is it? That's okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Oh my God. I love these Drewski ones. This says Ryan Williams since he turned 18.
Ryan Williams.
He's the wide receiver for Alabama.
Oh, okay. Why is this guy going out for passes?
He's a comedian. He just does like stupid stuff, like just funny stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just see him. I'm like, why is he running in like cowboy boots while he's on the job site? Made no sense.
Yeah, he's a comedian. He just does
I didn't know that.
like joke stuff. Yeah,
I did not know.
That's
that.
Drewski. He's a comedian. But it says Jaden Daniels just threw an interception, got obliterated on the return, and appeared to have re-injured his elbow. Disastrous second season.
True.
Shocker.
True.
I just want to say I'm the one who called this last year and said, you watch, once they get some game tape on Jaden Daniels, he's not going to be as good. And guess what? He ain't as good.
And again, a four-man rush. It's batted into the air. And Andrew Van Ginkel gets the pick. Chased by McLaurin and down inside the 30.
I guess the only question I have for the Redskins, or whatever they call themselves nowadays, why are you bringing him in a 3-9 season? Why are you bringing him back? What are you hoping to accomplish besides getting him re-injured? Oh boy, here's your pal. We hooping. Let's see what he breaks today. You know who acts like that sometimes?
Who?
You know who. The youngest member of our family.
It's not nice to talk about a little baby like that, girl.
She could throw herself down though like that. But she's a little bit more restrained. I'd love to see something snap and hit him in the head.
You know,
I think it'd be funny as shit.
I was going to say, I'm waiting for something to ricochet off that carpet and just absolutely shatter the glass that's on his framed jerseys over there.
I would love that too. It'd be hilarious. Is he wearing shoulder pads?
Yes, and football pants.
Oh my god! Oh, he's going bald. X. You know who he looks like a little bit like?
He absolutely is.
Who do you look like a little bit?
I don't know.
I don't know if you look in your mirror and your hairline, and what does it look like?
My hair don't look like his.
He's playing with his Easter bunny. I wonder what else he was using that Easter bunny for.
Looks like he's currently trying to. Oh no! I thought he was going to try and hop in it and wear it.
He's probably done that. He's probably a furry.
Why is it me? Why do I get fucked by the refs?
Because no one else will fuck you? Oh my goodness. Throwing his chair. He's out of breath. He's got a shape. We're hooping. Where's his mother? You know she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed by him. You know she is.
Yeah, she's probably not a fan.
No. How do you think the warden would react if you acted like that, X?
Probably not too thrilled if I was a betting man.
Were you acting up today? During your
I
visit?
just wanted some stuff to happen. That's all. And this one here says Red Zone is very quickly turning into how many ads can we sneak in before you really start to notice and complain.
Yeah, well,
And that was the thing. There was supposed to be ad-free television.
now they're on all the time. It seems like.
Yep.
It's like turn the spigot on.
And we got the end clip of the Wii Hoop in here. Oh.
Didn't we see this one? Oh,
Part
no.
2? No. This is the aftermath.
How many plays? How many flags against us? The Muhammad Ali. Knee never touched. Only his elbow. Call it back a touchdown.
Oh, he looks sad.
Isaiah Likely. Touchdown. Called back.
I believe it was called incomplete pass on the field.
Yeah, they ruled. Oh, I thought they ruled it a touchdown. Man, now he's starting to get out of his room. He's starting to destroy the rest of the house.
You know, I'd like to see his old man come down there and whip the shit out of him with a belt. Just like you ever seen Goodfellas? The beginning of Goodfellas, where the father beats Henry Hill. Oh.
How many plays?
Stay away from that. That stand.
Yeah, I think that's it for the wee hoopins, Grumpy. We get to these last comments, and then is there anything else you wanted to talk about today?
No. Derek here adds, if the MLS is so terrible, let's see where the Saudi League ranks compared to them. Shouldn't be hard. MLS sucks, Derek. Come on. Let's be honest.
Again, Saudi League teams are beating Premier League teams. You can't say that about any of the other leagues. And it's not like they're beating shit teams out of the Premier League. They're beating the team that's currently in second place, about to probably be in first.
Yeah. Drew says Isaiah Likely's always dropping balls, just like a preteen about to hit puberty. Wow.
Oh my God.
Same with Emeka Egbuka, the guy from Tampa.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, yeah.
Freedom Fund Ranch says, congratulations to Doc Page. I guess TJ can go ahead and quit that job now and return to the show.
Woo!
Freedom Fund Ranch adds, look for Dave's Hot Chicken. It's kind of a fancier Chick-fil-A. Fresh chicken is healthy fast food.
I've seen Dave's Hot Chicken. I haven't tried it, though. I've heard it's really good, though.
Okay.
And also there's a place that's in Rock Hill, South Carolina that I heard is very, very good chicken joint. You have to try some new chicken, Grumpy. So.
Okay.
All right. Anything you want to say before we hop off for the day, Grumpy?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't. From the Grumpy Old Man and Son X.
I want to thank everybody for coming out and listening. As always, love the interaction in the comments. College football playoffs. Yikes. NFL. Hopefully not yikes, but we'll see what happens. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks, Grumpy.
My pleasure.